Again. Welcome inside the locker room on a Monday morning, 16 minutes past 8 a.m. It's 26th day of May 2025. This is the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. Ayokunmi here, ready to walk you through some great sporting action from the weekend. And of course, there's so much to talk about, so much to sink our teeth into. And I say our because I'm not alone in the studio. No, I am not. Joining me as she always does, looking as bright eyed as I've ever seen her with beautiful hair as well. The one and only Tega Supreme in the building. Tega, good morning to you.
Telling lies.
Me? No.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're good. Yes, yes, yes. I want to go back. These Lagos people wake up too early. What's happening outside?
Well, I mean,
What is happening
we
outside?
need to make money to buy beef. Beef is expensive, so we need money to buy beef.
I need to address this situation. But good morning, everybody. Yes, 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 yes. I'm back in the studio. I will give you gist of what I went to do. But you have to be on YouTube. And Ayokunmi will tell you how to be there later. But first of all, this weekend, some people made it to Europe. Oh. Sha
Abi,
sha.
by hook or by
Whether they
crook,
got there by train, by boat, or
but
by bus,
they got there.
they got there. So they are in Europe. We saw golden boots, we saw golden gloves in the EPL. We also saw Italian Serie A winner this weekend.
Mm,
Like play like that was
mm,
Friday night. It
mm.
was sweet.
Inter,
It was
Inter.
sweet. It was sweet because there were two players that Man U rejected. They won title.
The cornerstone.
The cornerstone that were rejected, they won. So we are happy for them, and all the other Man U people are crying. Hmm. Because even small Europa, 17th place Tottenham, you could not. I don't understand. Eh? Small Europa 17th. And Yokumi, you will explain to me today.
I will explain to you.
Yes, why your team cannot do something useful. And speaking about
Okay.
people that are doing things useful, did you see the Arsenal women? That's how you win trophies.
Tell
Bukayo
them.
Saka, just look across the field. Don't even come out of the stadium. Just across the field. Those people, that's how they win Champions League. Have you heard me? We'll talk about all of that and more in the locker room this morning. But before we do any talking, so that we can hear you, Ayokunmi will tell you how to be part of this show because I want to hear from you. I am so happy to see you. I missed you all of last week. I'll be glad to meet you again when I go back.
Please don't leave me. Don't leave me. Anyways, in the here and now, you can join us in the locker room on WhatsApp and on YouTube. You can send your messages on WhatsApp on the number 080944400981. 080944400981 is the WhatsApp number. The YouTube channel where you can subscribe, join us on right there live right now and leave your comments. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways that you can join us. Uche Naokoye and Elke Aroba are already here. Oh, Elke, yeah, out this morning.
And now they got there by bus, so they're out.
Oh my goodness. All right, let us begin our journey this morning in the world of Formula One. And finally, after 50 years, McLaren's Lando Norris won the Monaco Grand Prix for the first time with a copybook drive, controlling the race from start to finish. I mean,
Okay, let's
sometimes.
let, let's just talk about the Monaco track. As amazing. So Monaco is it's a very traditional track, and then it's culture and lifestyle. You know how it
Mm,
is. It smells of wealth. It's fantastic. So the F1 Grand Prix is one of the most terrible tracks ever, because you you're most likely going to finish where you start. There's no room for overtaking.
mm,
And people say it's a street circuit. It's not the only street circuit, but it's very rigid in its room for maneuvers. And so this year they even tried to change some of the rules so that people can overtake in the pit lane. Try the undercut or the overcut. Still didn't work. So it's tricky. Like it didn't work for many people. Well, I mean, Lewis Hamilton jumped 2 spots, but he jumped over Haja and Alonso, I think. So this car is faster than those cars any day of the
so it
week
was
and twice on
expected
Sunday. So it
anyway.
was. Do you understand? It was not a big deal. He couldn't jump over, or he couldn't get past Red Bull.
Those who
You
matter.
understand? Those who matter. So ultimately, the track is just not the best. So it comes down to what you do on Saturday. And on Saturday, Lando Norris put his car where his desire was, in pole. He put his car in pole. Leclerc was second again, and then Piastri came third, and that's how the race finished. As they finished on Saturday. So in fact, what we should be doing on Saturday, as you finish, let's just give you the position.
Copy and paste.
Let's just copy and
More or
paste.
less.
So, but what he did the important thing, which was um drive well. Set the fastest time on Saturday. He even set a new track record, and then on Sunday, he didn't start slow because usually Lando Norris also know he wins a lot of pole. Oh yeah, make it count during the race. He will not start well, so he started well this time. Leclerc wasn't able to jump him, so it was the way they started. It was just basically the way they ended. He did his job. His job is to hunt down his teammate Piastri,
Right.
and then get back the lead in the drivers' championship. Right now, his teammate is still in the lead, but he's narrowed the gap.
That's 3 points.
And so it is still Piastri, Lando Norris, and then Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is doing the best they can do. He's calculating his mathematics to get to the answer. His car is not the fastest, but he's always contending. So let's see how it works for them. Congratulations to him for the new track record. But I mean, Monaco, there has to be something we can do about that track.
Maybe just scrap it all together.
No, you can't scrap traditional.
Scrap it.
We can revamp.
Culture can be changed.
Culture evolves, Abby.
Exactly. All right, let's leave Formula One and head into tennis with Roland Garros. It's all about the French Open, where world number one Ariana Sabalenka dropped only one game as she beats Kamila Rakimova to get her French Open campaign underway in emphatic style.
I'm telling you, it was like a training session because when the game first started, I actually thought she'd be tested just a little bit, not necessarily to 3 sets or anything, but give her something to work with. She just warmed up. Oh. She hasn't played her first match, as far as I'm concerned. One game, about an hour.
That wasn't really a workout.
Yes, about like an hour. It wasn't even a workout. Even my trainer will still give you warm up. After that one, you can run on the treadmill because you have not done anything. But such is her intention this year and her intensity this year. Remember, she started this year. She wanted to defend her Australian Open title. She couldn't because Madison Keys won her first ever Grand Slam title with brilliant play, and she's just been getting close and close. And this year, she's decided that, especially because Iga Swiatek has been struggling.
Yeah.
This Roland Garros is open to anybody, and because it's open to anybody, that anybody must be me. So she's thrown down the gauntlet that anybody that is contesting for this, we know that Swiatek is not in great form. But anybody that is contesting for this, I just want to let you know that I'm a monk. So she just laid down the marker. That was on the women's side. But yesterday was a huge day. People were crying. I didn't cry this time. I cried during Roger's time, but I didn't cry this time. It's not that it wasn't emotional. It's just that, I'd been expecting him to do this a long time ago. And that's because Roland Garros sent off Rafa Nadal yesterday. That was the send-off that we thought that his people during the Davis Cup in Spain were going to give him, that they came up with that sham, with that insult. Because that was an insult. They might as well have just carried Rafa Nadal and said, "You are leaving, take 2 slaps." That's the kind of send-off that they gave him in Spain. But Roland Garros set the course. They did it right. So if you bought a ticket to Philippe Chatrier, which is the main court, they give you a T-shirt that said "Merci Rafa." So everybody had that clay court colored T-shirt. Speaking of Swiatek, she was also at the ceremony, herself and her team, and then Carlos Alcaraz was also at the ceremony. Apparently, Carlos Alcaraz was like, "Oh, if Rafa Nadal can speak French, can learn French, then I can learn Mandarin." I was like, Rafa Nadal can speak French, but apparently he knew something I didn't know, because Rafa Nadal eventually read some of his speech
in French.
It was stuttered, but you knew it was French.
Yeah,
he had some Spanish accent, but you knew it was French. So he was there too. So both of them were there. The ceremony started. Everybody was wearing the T-shirts, including those two, and then They now started to do, after he read his speech and he was crying here and there, spoke about Uncle Tony, who introduced him to tennis and then made him use his left hand to play tennis. Spoke about that. Thanked his family, thanked the fans, thanked some of the few other people in his life. Then they now said, "Oh, we have a tribute for you." Then now play the video, where Andy Murray came out and said something that, and then Andy Murray said something. He started with, after all the fights, we your friends just wanted to know that, let you know that then Djokovic took over, that will always be with you. And Roger Federer, I can't remember what Roger Federer said, but the video played. Then after the video played, I think somebody made a mistake because the video was supposed to play and then immediately they start working out. But the video plays and then they now show three of them standing in the back. So three of them came for the event. I know Rafa came, sorry, Novak Djokovic came to play.
Yeah.
But Roger Federer obviously traveled down just for this.
I mean, contemporary.
He had to look. Roger will miss Andy's own. He will miss Djokovic's own. But you see that Rafa Nadal, he cannot miss it. When I saw him, if you see, that was the only part I really. All that ones I was applauding. It was impressive. It was nice. When I saw Mr. Federer in that tunnel, if you see the way I screamed or screamed, as they call it now. But it was beautiful.
Yeah,
then they did the most memorable thing. They left his footprint, Rafa Nadal's footprint. It's on a plaque. They left it on the Philippe Chatrier court, so he's immortalized forever there.
As he should be. I mean,
be.
he is the record holder.
Yeah,
record
14,
holder
14,
on clear.
yes.
In Roland Garros.
14 titles.
I mean,
I don't know that somebody can break it soon.
Thank God he said soon. All right, great stuff coming out of the French Open, and beautiful one there for Rafael Nadal. Okay, let's head over to America and talk about the NBA, where the Minnesota Timberwolves thrashed the OKC Thunder 143-101 to claim their first win of the NBA Western Conference Playoff Finals.
It was wicked. So we know that the OKC had taken the first two games, and it wasn't really a competition. They made light work of the length. When I say length, I'm talking of height, of the length that Timberwolves had. The tall Edwards, Gobert, Randall. They threw it away and ran circles around them. Then game 3 comes, and people have been talking about sweep. Oh, this is such a disappointing final. This is such a sweep. From the start of the game, as soon as the jump ball went off, that's how Timberwolves just started running amok.
Running amok, I like that.
I'm telling you, because they did not give any room for OKC to breathe. How are you the number 1 ranked team in the West and you lose by 50? They were trailing by, at some point, the gap just kept growing. When I saw 10 points, I was like, 10 points is not bad. Then I saw 20. Then I saw 30. I was just like, you know what? Even if you want to lose the game, how are you trailing by 30 points? And in every quarter, it's like, no quarter did they give. There was no time for them to come up for air. They drowned them in points.
In a conference
final. I'm telling you, they beat them on the boards. They beat them from the parameters. They beat them everywhere. Everywhere there was a beating to be had.
A comprehensive beating.
They beat them. They even beat them on the bench for good measure. It's the kind of thing that I think the Thunders went back to their locker room. Not this locker room, because we don't do that here.
At all.
They went back to their locker room and they questioned their life choices. Why are we here?
Can we go home now?
Can we go home now? Speaking of going home, we'll talk about the New York Knicks and the Pacers. So the Pacers are taking the first 2 games on the road, and they went back into Indiana to play game 3, which happened early hours of this morning. And they lost by 6 points to the Knicks. The Knicks had to rally to fight to get something. And this time, they took the lead, and they didn't give Pacers the time to come back in. So now both Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals are 2-1. So 2-1 for the Pacers on the one hand, and 2-1 for OKC on the other hand. Let's see if there's going to be a comeback, or the beatdown is just going to continue.
It's going to be interesting to see how those games pan out. All right, let's take our first break of the morning. When we come back in, we'll switch gears to the world of football and talk about Enzo Maresca, who has decided to find his voice and blast critics after Chelsea qualified for the Champions League.
I'm telling you, better win in this life, because if you don't win, you can't talk. You see how his mouth is sharp now. Someone that came in through the back door, his mouth is sharp. You must win in this life.
Whether I came through the back door,
That's
whether
my
I came from
point.
underground
That's
door,
my point. Win.
he shot.
You
He
must
shot there.
win. If you don't win, you can't talk. See now, this man that he was quiet since people thought he was humble. Now he has he has
You
qualified.
show the true colors now.
Now he has qualified for Champions League. We know he's not humble. Rather. My friend, shut your mouth.
Goodness gracious.
Oh yes. So I disappeared for a while. I went back to school. Let me give you a Portuguese. That's why I said let me test my brain. You know, in my mind, I'm very intelligent and brilliant. So I went back to school. It's like a media innovation program. It's 6 months. So I'll be disappearing again 1 week every month. Just so you guys know. So we went there for the festive. I can't believe it. I wake up 5 a.m. so that I won't miss the bus by 7 to get to school. I can't remember doing that. You know how many years ago since I graduated? There was that. Then there was a class when they were teaching. I was like, I'm not an another like this. I don't know anything.
It's like Greek to you.
It was like Greek
What
to
is
me.
going on?
I was like, what's happening? No. After this one, I don't think I will go to school again. I think I'll just stay in my corner.
That's cool, eh?
At school is not easy for anybody. But then they gave me assignments. Me, adult. Assignments.
You know what? Don't do the assignment.
I want to do how to die.
All right, you're welcome back into the locker room on a Monday morning. This is Smooth, my 8.1. Love music, love life is smooth. Breakfast is in full swing, full gear. Ayokunmi here. Tega also with me in the studio. We are having so much fun, and we need you to join us as well. So please, come on and come all. Send your messages into us on WhatsApp. Let us know your thoughts on what we're talking about this morning. 0809 444 0981 is the WhatsApp number. Also, get your chair and plant yourself firmly on the YouTube channel at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways you can join us in the locker room this morning. All right, Tega, let's switch gears. Like I said, let's talk about Enzo Maresca. Now, he launched a foul-mouthed rant at Chelsea's critics after his team qualified for the Champions League with a 1-0 win at Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Now, Levi Kogel's goal tap just got them that victory. Now, looking at this particular situation, now he says, and I'm quoting here, I don't have any doubt, to be honest, about the players. I said that the doubt was from the outside. Now, all the ones that think they are the answer, or all the ones that they are the truth, they were saying that we are too young, we're not good enough. They were saying that we were not able to win on this pitch because we're too young, because we are not experienced. Unfortunately for them, they'll be all wrong. The ones that think they are the truth and they have the answer for everything. I don't want to go further than that.
Because I think he's not talking about the couch, all the analysts and all. And you know what? He can say all of this because Chris Wood did not do the simple job on the day that it was required of him to just put the ball in the back of the net. If Chris Wood would have just put one chance there, let's take it from there, just one, and maybe the rest of the team would have rallied, then we will not be hearing all this long talk. The doubt was from outside. Which doubt? When you were abusing your players in the locker room, was it us that were abusing them? Which doubt is from outside? You see, I like when people do this kind of, once they qualify for the Champions League or they qualify for whatever they are aiming for, then they start bragging. Meanwhile, they too also question themselves the way other people question them, because he had a great team at the start of the season. It looked like they were competing on all fronts, and then they started dropping from each competition as they dropped players. Of course, there'll be questions about you that, you spent a lot of money. You are the ones that are rejecting players left, right, and center. Some of those players have gone on to other clubs to perform well. Why are you didn't you make a mistake? They're going to ask questions, like every human being should. Which one is all this one that he's shouting at us now because he qualified for Champions League? So the people that won Premier League in their first season, what should they do? They should flog us.
I mean,
so, and the slot should not carry Kane. All of us, we should line up and be flogging us because you only qualify for Champions League. Yeah, we will not hear what now.
What if he now wins the Conference League on
we are finished. If he beats Real Betis on Wednesday like this, we are all finished. It doesn't matter that thing is third world trophy. You will not let us hear what. You will be I kid you not. This one that he has done today, wait till they win on Wednesday.
Enzo,
And
Enzo,
just be humble.
pride goeth before a fall.
They can still sack you first month of next season. You do anyhow, you say anyhow. Why is he bragging? It's his job not to qualify for Champions League. Why is he bragging as if he has achieved greater? And a slot came in the first season. Did not buy like this man bottle. And he won the Premier League. And he's quiet. There's no noise coming from his side. You just qualified for Champions League on the last day, for that matter. Last day, they almost blew whistle before you qualified. You are now shouting at everybody.
You must carry shoulder now.
Should put the shoulder down before I break it. Let's take people that want things. You see, I like people that want things.
Let's head over to Italy and talk about people that want things over there. Hundreds of thousands of jubilant Napoli fans gathered in the city to witness their team lift the Serie A trophy on Friday for the fourth time in their history. Scott McSauce and Romelu Lukaku scored to secure a comfortable 2-0 victory over Cagliari as they've won their second Scudetto in 3 years.
What he means is Scott McTominay, but you know who he's talking about. The rejected stones from Manchester United.
John Cornerstone.
I've turned chief cornerstone. And McTominay was player of the year.
Yes, indeed.
To make matters worse.
I mean,
player of the year. In a league he just went for the first time. That's the kind of person that will call all of us and be abusing us. Do you understand? It's not people that came in last minute to Champions League.
I wonder if he'll call Jim Ratcliffe and abuse him.
No, I think he'll just pass him by the bus up and smile. You know that kind of I told you smile. but yes, it was a interesting season in the Italian Serie A, and Inter Milan and Antonio Conte or Napoli were going at it until Inter Milan had that bad week. I remember I said it was a bad week because that was the week they lost out to AC Milan in the Italian Cup.
Yeah.
And then they also played for all. No, then they played for all in the Champions League. No, they lost a game in the Serie A.
Yeah, I think from two goals up or something like that.
They lost a game in the Serie A. Then it was 2 goals up to 2-2.
Yeah.
They dropped points there, and then after dropping points there, they now went to play in the Champions League. And managed to come off with a draw despite leading. So that was the week that was horrible for Inter Milan. It was just that one blink that they blinked, and Antonio Conte and Napoli just overtook him and never gave up. As they overtook him, they put their legs on the accelerator and drove to the finish line. Brilliant for Antonio Conte. Now he's won the Scudetto with 3 different teams.
Yeah,
he won with Juventus, he won with Inter Milan,
and now
Napoli. And I'm hearing that he's going back to Juventus. There are rumors that he's going back to Juventus.
I don't know what's going on really in this year. Conte is that kind of person that his head switches just like that.
Look, people say it's like that, but if he's been hinting that he's not getting what he wants, and the thing about Conte is he will hint that he's not getting what he wants. If you don't give him, he will move quickly. He will not drag it out. He will not negotiate. I like people that have boundaries. And he has set his boundaries. So people know that if you don't give him what he wants, he's gone. So he's won the Scudetto for them. Congratulations to them. But now we hear he may be on the move. Nothing guaranteed, just rumors as of yet. So let's leave it at that.
And it seems like it's going to be Massimiliano Allegri moving over to Napoli. I honestly don't know what they're thinking, what De Laurentiis is thinking there, but what do I know? I'm just a man in the studio here in Lagos, Nigeria. All right, let's head to La Liga, where Real Madrid appointed Xabi Alonso to replace Carlo Ancelotti as coach on Sunday, with the Spaniard to take over from the 1st of June and lead the team at the Club World Cup.
All right, so the team will now be introduced to him before the season, which is not bad. Some people are saying, oh, let Ancelotti finish his time out. Ancelotti has led enough. He knows the team. Let's give Alonso time to do it. Speaking of Ancelotti, there was a send-off. I've never seen this kind of send-off before. So there was a send-off for Lucas Vazquez. He came off. People applauded him. He waved goodbye. He went to his seat. When it was time for Luka Modric to go, both teams came and gave guard of honor. Middle of match was not over. Because they substituted him, I think 85th minute or thereabout. They stopped the match, gave guard of honor. Even referee left the mid center of the pitch, came to the side to join the beginning of the guard of honor. I haven't seen it in my life before.
When you're large, you're large.
When you're big, and that's not on size. That's why I tell people to respect we small people.
Word.
Yeah. So it was a beautiful thing. Then his family came out. His children. I saw when those children came in. They were not young. Now they are following me to drag the same size of jeans. So he has lived in Madrid a while. He has grown with his family there. It was a fantastic send off. And they also capped it off with a good win on the day. So brilliant season for Real Madrid, all in all. But they'd like to come away with a trophy, and they would hate for this season to continue, because in this season they lost 4 times to Barcelona.
Right.
It's unforgivable. So we want to see how Alonso will do. There's some players that they need to buy. There's some players that they need to trade, and rejig the team. I want to see what his mind processes on that. Meanwhile, I heard that when they appointed Alonso as coach, this one is gossip. When they appointed Alonso as coach, I heard that Iker Casillas vexed, because he's been coach of the team B, and he was hoping that promotion, Emilio come. He didn't call to him.
Did he win Bundesliga and German Cup?
But this thing is paining me on his behalf.
If I give Casillas elbow.
But you think about it, he's been growing the team. Zizou came from there, went on to coach at least. He hoped it was his time. Alas, they didn't promote from within, which is why I tell people, when you feel like you're stuck, just leave your job, apply to another company for a higher job. Then that company that you left to come and apply for you will come and recruit you for MD. It happens all the time.
Casillas should calm down. It's not his time yet.
No,
You should relax.
This 43-year-old has become coach and he's still there.
He has won Bundesliga and German. That's all I can say. All right, let's talk about Arsenal.
Yes.
Arsenal women. Yes, they produced a shock 1-0 victory over Barcelona to win the Women's Champions League on Saturday in Lisbon, with Stina Blackstenius' goal earning the Gunners their second European crown against the odds.
I want to say this. It was a shock because it's Barcelona feminine, but it wasn't a shock if you watch the match. In fact, I think there's so many calls that Stephanie Fapra didn't give out. She's like, what is wrong? This is that they don't want Arsenal to win. Arsenal did not dominate the game. They left the ball for Barcelona to run around with it. But they kept their moments. When they had to be compact defensively, they were. And when they got the ball on the break, every time they got the ball on the break, they threatened. In fact, there was a penalty I think that Arsenal should have gotten earlier. This player did not touch the ball at all, but she cleared the Arsenal striker. The plus Vieira plus center referee, they're like three blind mice. They didn't see it. The center referee didn't call it. Vieira didn't even look at it. I've not seen that kind of weird thing before.
Or they chose not to see it.
It was the weirdest thing. And then production, for good measure, started showing it on. You know how the commentators will be questioning the call. They'll be showing the call over and over again. The more they showed it, the more like a penalty it looked. And my question is, they didn't even look at it.
That's
the one that did my head
even more annoying.
Do you understand? They didn't even look at it. So there was that moment. There was another moment where they said it was there was a foul, and I looked at the play. There was no foul. The girl just exhaled near her, and the Barcelona defender tumbled like she was shocked. So at some point, it was looking like maybe there's something against Arsenal, but there wasn't. It wasn't biased. I hate that bias thing. But regardless of that, when they got their opportunity, they put the ball in the back of the net. Barcelona dominated possession, but they were never threatening.
Right.
So at the end of the day, Arsenal deservedly won that final, and the women have brought the Champions League trophy to the Emirates. Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Mikel Arteta. Over to you.
It's not their turn.
Just so you know, the coach that took Arsenal at the beginning of the season is not the coach that took them to this trophy. He was fired, and then they won the trophy. Maybe they should. Tega, don't say that. Let's just take messages.
All right, let's take your messages. This is Fred Adoki. Fred says, okay, good morning to you, Fred. Please celebrate with me. My old lady qualified for Champions League. Thiago Motta almost sent Juve to the Conference League. Fred, congratulations on that one.
Yes, because last minute, and my agenda for Roma still goes on. Remember when they fired Jose Mourinho and said they were the Champions League club? You're in the Europa, Roma. Even with Tinkerman.
Europa, Roma. I like the sound of that. Jesse, just says, Thanks, Tega, for always bringing the energy on the Monday breakfast show. I can feel my bro there. Jesse, I see you. Further says, now that the fever of the Premier League is over and my darling Liverpool crowned champions of England once again, with Arsenal men's team leaving a good job for their women's team, please permit me to divert to my former suspicions of conspiracy by the FIA against Sir Lewis Hamilton, that they didn't just want that brother to be the one to break Michael Schumacher's record. Anyways, what do I know?
Yeah, some of us are with you on that, but we can't say it openly.
This is Emmanuel Insuride says, heard Conte is leaving Napoli. What is the matter with De Laurentiis? That man, I don't know. I don't know, really. All right. On to YouTube. Oh, take it. De Laurentiis and Ben Suleiman, who is, in terms of score.
Ben Suleiman has it too, on another level.
All right. Kuchina Okoye says, what a season for the underdogs. Congrats to those that won trophies. United, we need to do better and be counted among the elites. Hotel. The mediocrity is massive. Clear the deadwood, buy better. El Kedorogba says, welcome back, Tega. We didn't bat Ayo enough last week, and Chelsea made top four again. The God I serve did not let me become a thing of banter for my enemies. CL, here we come. I could told you, my mind even day here again. Lawal Olamilekon says, welcome back, Tega. Congratulations to Arsenal ladies. After Barcelona ladies beat Chelsea ladies in that manner, I thought Arsenal had no chance. Happy for them. And LK says, we didn't come in through the back door, Tega. Chelsea finished 4th, not 5th. Me self, my mouth don't shut.
Back door, all back door.
Adefemi Mafia says, Chelsea now sees you as a trophy. Who would have thought this day?
Arsene Wenger will just be smiling and sipping tea in his house.
Ayofedada says, this year is the year of the birds. Tottenham, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, and Newcastle have won titles, already confirming this to be true. I heard that Betis in Chinese means bread as well.
Oh my goodness, people just want Chelsea to cry. Let's take from Mohammed.
Mohammed says, I want OKC and Pacers for the final. Knicks and Wolves should be knocked off for beating the teams I like.
I'm with you. Mohammed, two of us, we have the same agenda. We are hate watching. We have the same agenda. On that note, I want to thank everybody for sending in their messages. Thank you for tuning in to Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to the locker room. Till I come your way again on Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah, when Chelsea will be playing
against
Real Betis. And then also, Roland Garros is on, starts at 10 o'clock. So make sure you watch, because I think the Sena is taking the court today. So till I come away on Wednesday.
That's right.
Have a fantastic week.
All right, Tega, have a fantastic Monday and see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much, as always. Thank you for being a part of the locker room. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast, 9 o'clock Lagos. You'll get talking on Lagos Talks.
We have the same agenda.